Have you ever wondered how a single person could change the course of history, not just for a nation, but for the entire world? What if I told you that this person started from nothing, abandoned by his people, and rose to command the largest land empire the world has ever seen? His name was Genghis Khan, a man whose story is a paradox of brutal conquest and groundbreaking innovation. But who was he really? A bloodthirsty barbarian? A visionary leader ahead of his time? Or perhaps both? Today, we'll unravel the life and legacy of Genghis Khan, diving deep into his journey from the windswept steppes of Mongolia to the pinnacle of power. By the end, you might see this enigmatic figure in an entirely new light. Picture the unforgiving Mongolian steppe, a vast expanse of grasslands, where survival is a daily battle against the elements. In 1162, or maybe 1155, the exact year is still debated, a boy named Temüjin was born into this harsh world. Legend has it that he entered life clutching a blood clot in his tiny fist, a sign, they said, that he was destined for greatness, or perhaps for bloodshed. Temüjin's early life was anything but privileged. His father, Yesegai, was a tribal leader, but this status offered little security. When Temüjin was just 9 years old, his father was poisoned by a rival clan, plunging his family into chaos. Suddenly, the boy who might have become a chieftain was cast out, his family abandoned by their tribe. Imagine being a child, left to fend for yourself in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Temüjin and his family survived by foraging for roots, catching fish, and hunting small game. Hunger was a constant companion, and tensions within the family boiled over. In a chilling act of ambition, Temüjin killed his half-brother, better to assert his dominance. This was not just a family feud, it was a defining moment that showed the lengths he was willing to go to seize control. But Temüjin's journey wasn't just about brutality. He learned from his mother, Holin, the importance of resilience and the power of alliances. She taught him to think strategically, lessons that would serve him well as he began to rebuild his shattered life. The young Temüjin was a survivor, but survival wasn't enough. He wanted power, and he knew he couldn't achieve it alone. At 16, he married Brit, a woman from a neighboring tribe. This wasn't just a love story, it was a political alliance. Brit's tribe provided warriors, resources, and a crucial foothold in Temüjin's rise. But fate had other plans. Brit was kidnapped by a rival tribe, the Merkits, shortly after their marriage. For Temüjin, this wasn't just a personal tragedy, it was a call to arms. Rallying allies, including his blood brother Yemuka, he launched a daring rescue mission. The campaign was a success, and Brit was saved. This event cemented Temüjin's reputation as a leader who could inspire loyalty and take decisive action. Yet, alliances are fragile. As Temüjin's power grew, his relationship with Yemuka soured. Their rivalry erupted into open conflict, culminating in a brutal battle that left Temüjin defeated. For years, he disappeared from the historical record, but he wasn't idle. He was learning, adapting, and waiting for his moment to strike. When Temüjin returned, he was stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. He introduced revolutionary reforms, including a merit-based system that valued talent over birthright. This was unheard of in the rigidly hierarchical Mongol society, but it earned him the loyalty of skilled warriors from all walks of life. In 1206, after years of battles and alliances, Temüjin achieved the impossible. He united the Mongol tribes under his leadership. He was given the title Genghis Khan, meaning universal ruler. The nomadic clans, once fragmented and feuding, now stood united, a force that would soon shake the foundations of the known world. Genghis Khan's empire didn't stop at the borders of Mongolia. His ambitions were boundless, and his strategies unmatched. His first target was the Western Xia dynasty in China. Facing walled cities and well-organized armies, the Mongols adapted quickly. They recruited Chinese engineers to build siege weapons, using the knowledge of their enemies against them. It wasn't just brute force, it was ingenuity. From there, the Mongols swept into the Jin dynasty's territory, employing psychological warfare to devastating effect. Entire cities surrendered without a fight, terrified by the reputation of Genghis Khan's army. For those who resisted, the consequences were dire. One account describes how he decimated the Khwarezmian Empire after their ruler insulted him, leaving a trail of destruction so vast that the region's population didn't recover for centuries. Yet, amidst the carnage, there were glimpses of a different side to Genghis Khan. He valued innovation, adopting technologies and ideas from the cultures he conquered. From gunpowder to administrative techniques, the Mongols became a melting pot of knowledge, driving progress across their empire. Beyond the battlefield, Genghis Khan was a visionary leader. He implemented a legal code called the Yasa, which established order and equality within his empire. This code was ahead of its time, forbidding the enslavement of Mongols and promoting religious tolerance, a stark contrast to the chaos of his conquests. Trade flourished under his rule, with the Silk Road becoming a secure network that connected east and west. For the first time, merchants could travel thousands of miles without fear, bringing goods, ideas, and cultures together. It's said that a man could walk the length of the Mongol Empire carrying gold without being robbed, a testament to the order Genghis Khan imposed. In 1227, during a campaign in China, Genghis Khan died under mysterious circumstances. Some say he fell from his horse. Others believe he succumbed to illness. His burial site remains a mystery to this day, hidden by his loyal followers to prevent it from being desecrated. But his death didn't mark the end of the Mongol Empire. His descendants continued his legacy, expanding the empire to its greatest extent. At its peak, it spanned from the Pacific Ocean to Europe, influencing countless cultures and shaping the modern world. In recent years, researchers and historians have revisited Genghis Khan's life with fresh eyes, unearthing discoveries that paint his legacy in increasingly complex shades. For instance, a 2016 archaeological study using satellite imaging and drone technology sought to pinpoint the location of Genghis Khan's secret burial site. While the exact site remains undiscovered, this cutting-edge research has uncovered patterns in Mongolian burial traditions that suggest his tomb might be hidden beneath a large unmarked mound in Khenti province. Intriguingly, a documentary titled The Secret History of Genghis Khan posits that the leader's burial site may contain not just treasures of gold, but manuscripts, relics, and artifacts that could rewrite our understanding of 13th century global commerce and innovation. Imagine this. The tomb might hold evidence of connections between Europe, China, and the Middle East long before the Renaissance, a hidden legacy of a leader who valued knowledge as much as conquest. Could modern technology finally bring closure to one of history's greatest mysteries? And more importantly, should it? These findings reignite debates about the ethical dilemmas of disturbing sacred sites, inviting us to question where respect for history ends and the hunger for discovery begins. A lesser-known aspect of Genghis Khan's empire is how it reshaped entire ecosystems and societies. For example, an environmental study published in Nature revealed that the regrowth of forests in depopulated areas during his conquests absorbed around 700 million tons of CO2, an impact so significant it has been called the Mongol Empire's cooling effect on global climate. This context bridges history and environmental science, offering a surprising perspective on how human actions can leave an unintended imprint on nature. By reshaping landscapes, the Mongol Empire indirectly influenced ecological balances that persist to this day. On the societal side, Mongolian archaeological digs reveal intricate networks of Silk Road outposts under Khan's rule. These way stations hosted merchants, scholars, and emissaries from across the globe, fostering the exchange of not only goods, but also ideas. The advancements made during his time, ranging from postal systems to cartography, formed the scaffolding of globalization as we know it today. Now, let's take a step into speculative thought. What if Genghis Khan's empire was not only the height of 13th century civilization, but also a prototype for futuristic societies? The Mongol Empire excelled in decentralization, a governance model echoed in discussions of modern smart cities. Imagine a future inspired by Khan's methods, hyper-connected, mobile hubs where meritocracy reigns, resources are shared efficiently, and global collaboration is seamless. Could elements of the Mongol network, its logistical ingenuity, or emphasis on multicultural harmony serve as a blueprint for interplanetary colonies? Science fiction writers have often drawn from his story. From Asimov's Foundation to the resource-driven dynamics in Dune, Genghis Khan's empire appears as a metaphor for the balance between order and chaos in civilization. The audience might wonder, could his vision influence not just our past, but our next frontier? Interestingly, myths surrounding Genghis Khan resonate across cultures. In Persian folklore, he is sometimes depicted as a divinely ordained punisher, fulfilling prophecies by bringing downfall to corrupt empires. Similarly, in some Tibetan Buddhist traditions, his conquest is interpreted as a necessary force that cleared the way for cultural renewal and the spread of enlightenment. These parallels find echoes in other global stories. For instance, the concept of a unifier emerging from humble beginnings, much like Genghis Khan, mirrors the legendary King Arthur in the West and Ashoka the Great in India. Such archetypes remind us how different cultures often channel similar anxieties and hopes into shared narrative patterns. Could these stories indicate a deeper human longing for balance between chaos and order? It's impossible to ignore how Genghis Khan's story has permeated modern pop culture. His name and legend have been immortalized in everything from epic strategy games like Civilization and Total War to comic book adaptations where his ruthlessness takes on a fantastical edge. Even Hollywood has repeatedly turned to his legacy. In The Conqueror, albeit controversially, his story was mythologized for Western audiences, while sci-fi franchises like Star Trek have referenced Khan-like figures as metaphors for leadership and tyranny. But the most intriguing question lies in why we keep returning to Genghis Khan in media. Is it the allure of power unbridled, the tension between barbarism and brilliance, or something more primal, a fascination with figures who challenge the boundaries of human ambition? If you've noticed his influence in your favorite games, shows, or books, share them below. Let's explore his shadow across our stories. It's ironic to think that one of history's deadliest conquerors also left an unexpected environmental legacy. Recent studies reveal that the Mongol invasions, which decimated populations and left swaths of land uninhabited, triggered an environmental phenomenon now dubbed the Mongol carbon effect by drastically reducing human activity in conquered regions. Millions of acres of farmland reverted to forests, pulling massive amounts of carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. During the 13th and 14th centuries, estimates suggest that the reforestation caused by Genghis Khan's conquests sequestered around 700 million tons of CO2, enough to measurably cool the planet. While the environmental consequences were undoubtedly unintentional, it raises fascinating questions. How often does history leave a legacy we don't recognize immediately? And could such devastating events hold lessons for today's climate challenges? This paradox of destruction and renewal underlines a deeper theme in Genghis Khan's legacy. Even his most brutal acts had ripple effects that transformed not just human societies, but also the Earth itself. It's a grim reminder of the intertwined nature of humanity's violence and its relationship with the environment, a reflection that feels eerily relevant in an age of global climate concern. As we delve into the mysteries surrounding Genghis Khan, one puzzle continues to confound historians and archaeologists alike: the whereabouts of his tomb. Despite his monumental impact on the world, the universal ruler rests in an unmarked and hidden grave, decision made deliberately by his followers. According to ancient accounts, anyone who stumbled upon his funeral procession was executed to preserve the secret of his final resting place. Could it be hidden beneath Burkhan Khaldun, the sacred mountain where Genghis sought refuge in his youth? Some speculate that treasures buried with him could rival even the tombs of Egypt's pharaohs, including rare artifacts, battle trophies, and perhaps records of Mongolian history lost to time. Others suggest the tomb could hold answers to ancient mysteries, from diplomatic correspondences with distant empires to advanced technologies of the time. In modern times, expeditions have attempted to uncover his burial site using tools like satellite imaging, drone technology, and magnetic surveys. However, Mongolian locals and even the government often resist these efforts, citing cultural and spiritual reverence for their greatest leader. And now, as we wrap up, what do you think? Could Genghis Khan's ruthless methods ever be justified by the vast innovations his empire brought to the world? Would his policies thrive in today's world or fail miserably? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and share this video. If his legacy fascinates you as much as it does me, make sure to subscribe for more stories that challenge the way we see history.